What's up, guys? Welcome back to Minecraft. I have so many series on this channel of Minecraft, but today we are starting a brand new series called Minecraft Build, and I'm super excited to be presenting this episode to you. Central Beacon Tower. This is a tower I created in the middle of me and my friend's realm, and I created it to centralize the civilization that we are creating, as well as create a tower that we can use to overlook all our builds in the landscape. And as you can see, it's absolutely sick. I designed this entire tower one step at a time, and in this video I'm going to give you a complete breakdown of this tower, how I made it, and all the really small and cool details within it. So without further ado, let's get right into the breakdown. As you can see, I am in creative right now. I did not build this in creative. This was completely built entirely in survival. I acquired all these deep slate blocks. I'll even show you my deep slate mine. The chasm of deep slate right here. And of course I stole a bunch of deep slate from all my boys on the realm. That's kind of like my role. I'm kind of like a thief, but I'm also the builder, so it's okay. When breaking down this build, I didn't really know where to start. As you can see, there's a ton of details and design ideas going on within this one. So I'm going to start with the first thing I did, which was build this double DNA strand, I guess quad DNA strand staircase. As you can see, there's 4 staircases, 4 entrances in the bottom of this tower, each one winding like a DNA strand around, and everything on every side is completely symmetrical, which doing this completely on survival and going off memory, as well as it taking about 3 months to complete, was actually super difficult. I was taking pictures of areas that I forgot how I built because I made them a whole month prior. No! I destroyed that! Stupid ass chicken! But anyways, yeah, super symmetrical. But the first thing I started with was these staircases. And the way I built them was stairs under stairs going in and around. During this video, I will be inserting clips of me building this base in certain areas. And as you can see on screen right now, I'm actually building the staircase. I'm super proud of how I built this staircase. And honestly, it was an easy part about this build because it's consistent throughout the entire structure and every layer on this build. So let's talk about this first floor here. I have these doors coming in, as you know, to each side, and we have this nice wooden floor. Here I have a water landing with the actual central beacon going all the way up the structure. I knew I wanted to build something really tall, like a tower, and like I said, I started with these stairs, so I knew the winding stairs had to be matched with a giant water pit at the bottom, so it looks really cool when you jump down, and I'll show you that right now. It gives a pretty trippy effect as you're falling, and that's exactly what I wanted to do, and I'm really proud of it. So yeah, that's the first floor. Let's go back outside and talk about the first layer. This was the first layer I created, and why the first layer is really important is because all these details are what I mimicked for all the other layers. What I mean by that is you can see on the edges, the corners I should say, of this structure is this really cool pointy lantern area that you can see hanging off the sides, and I follow that same idea for every single layer all the way up to the tower. In this first layer, I had to really think about how I wanted to build it because I knew I wanted to keep it all consistent as high as I was going to go. And at the time building this first layer, I didn't know how high I was going to go. So as you can see, that's the first layer. Oh my God, why is there chickens freaking on my build? What is this?
What's what?
Why are there so many chickens here?
No, I spent hours doing.
So the first layer there, right, is unique in its own. And then we have this second layer, which we'll get to obviously, which looks a lot like this fourth layer right here. And then we have that middle layer that's unique to its own and the top layer that's unique to its own. The middle is like a combination of 2 layers, but we'll get to that here in a second. And it's again consistent as well. But this first one's pretty cool. We have like this double split window here. Kind of looks like an H with 2 dashes and a really cool big window above the main doors. And you can see that follows every single side here and looks really nice. Another thing I added at the bottom were these border structures. I don't even know what I would want to call these, but I wanted to add something to immerse yourself into the build the second you walk up to it. It's very huge and obvious, but I want it to become a different world when you walked in. So this is kind of like the borderline from the outside builds to the inn. You kind of walk in, you have this shoveled path all the way around, as well as this really nice high brush and flowers grass going around it, which which I always add to all my builds. So that's really, really nice. Also following another central wall, I guess if you want to call it, with this really nice wooden path that kind of leads into that first floor, which is really cool as well. Ooh, and it looks like it's nighttime. I know you guys probably saw it in the time lapse, but here's how it looks at night. Oh my God, it looks so sick. Again, I'm just really proud of this build, and I'm excited to share it with you guys, but here it is at night. As you can see, like I said, super, super sick. All right, let's move up to this second layer here. This is where we kind of start to see the lookout points. So here we have the first layer of the tower, and you can see, you know, not too high. There's my house over there, looking cute as hell. But here's the first layer. Here's the first lookout. Not too high, a couple stories up. Nonetheless, a very good view, and it only gets better from here. A couple details that I want to talk about. As you reach each layer, there is blue carpet to indicate that you've reached the layer. We have this really cool column-like structure following all the sides around, and that walks up onto the balcony where you can look out. I have this really cool pattern where I have a block, a slab, a wall, a glass kind of pattern on every side, as well as the high peak lantern edges, which look really, really nice from afar and give the more boxy look a little bit cooler visual interest. But again, this is how every single layer looks when you reach the actual balcony aspect of, look at all these chickens, bro. Why are there so many chickens here? But anyways, this is the first layer. Looks really, really cool. Let's talk about some of the details on the second layer here. So this one, like I said, mimics this one way up there, which again, from this one to that one, it was a couple months difference. So having to go back and completely replicate it in perfect symmetry was pretty difficult, but also really rewarding. So this window structure has like 4 giant blocks splitting the glass on the giant window. I know I wanted to make the windows super large so you can see out, as well as see that DNA strand staircase on the inside, and it looks really, really cool. I'm throwing up on screen right now how this second layer looked, and as you can see above it, you can see my staircase slowly winding up. And now let's talk about how I measured each layer. So as you can see at the bottom here, we have 1, 2. So that's 1, 2 for the first, and now for the whole second layer, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now for the whole middle layer, it's doubles again. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then again, it goes 1, 2, 3, and then 4 would be the top for that fourth layer that mimics the second layer. And that's how I kind of measured it out and kept everything consistent. Another really cool thing that I'm proud of in terms of detail is kind of expanding this boxy shape. Without these outside wall columns kind of bulging and going back into the original structure of this build, I don't think this thing would look nearly as cool as it does. It took me a really long time initially to build these columns and build under these overlook areas. As you can see, there's tons and tons of slab detail as well as stair detail going on. I initially started this build without the happy ghast, and let me tell you, the happy ghast is a freaking game changer. Without the happy ghast, this build wouldn't have been done as fast as it was. But up until the middle section, there was no happy ghast yet. They didn't release that update, so building these outside structures here took a very long time and a ton of scaffolding. And if you build and know anything about scaffolding, it can be super, super tedious and really annoying, because the farther and farther you go up, the more and more scaffolding you need. I'm building this as I go, and it's out of my own mind. So trying to keep everything consistent as I remember it was really, really difficult. And when you're super close to the structure like this, you can't tell what you're missing, what you're not missing. So you have to come all the way outside with the scaffolding and look into it. So it was really, really difficult. But the layer that I'm absolutely most proud of is this middle section. This window block stair design looks so sick in the middle of this tower, and it just gives it the overall look that I wanted to and just brings it all together. I wanted to do some sort of arch, cross, circle design within this rectangular shape, and I think I did that super well. Some cool things about this middle structure as well, we discussed before, every corner has this out peak on all the balconies to kind of give the square shape a little bit more depth. Here in in the central area of this third layer are its own designed peaks here. These were super articulate to create and also mimic on all four sides completely symmetrically. But as you can see, they bring so much to the build and they look really, really cool. And lots of the open floating areas within the glass, I have this stair idea where they're kind of flipped upside down and over, kind of also creating more of a roundness to this boxy look. I more or less tried to keep this thing as unsquare as possible and give it a lot of depth. And I think adding those stairs and these out peaks allowed me to do so and make it look really, really sick. Moving into the fourth layer, nothing much to say about this layer as it's exactly identical to the second layer all the way down at the bottom, except for the fact that this overhang is completely different. But we'll get to that in a second. Oh, I actually forgot to show you guys how that second layer view looks. Another freaking chicken. So here's my dope looking house down there. And as you can see, we're getting a little higher and it's a really, really cool and sick view. I also wanted something that would tower these mountains here so that we could even look past the mountains. So even at this point of the build, I knew this thing was going to be tall. All right, here we have the middle section, going up the middle section. Really cool window details. Again, you can see out the windows, which is really cool, as well as the quad DNA strand staircase coming in. Here's that fourth layer view. You can see my house down there. And I also wanted to make the walls, you know, it's kind of unpractical to make walls that don't actually protect you from jumping off. These do, but I had made it so the windows, you can kind of crouch off and see even more. You can see the development of a castle over there from one of my friends, as well as his house, and there's mine. But as you can see, we're getting higher and higher. Now let's talk about the inside. 1, 2, 3, and where's 4? Well, I created this single stair set in the middle because I wanted the top floor to be as spacious as possible, as well as be as unique as possible. And as you can see on screen, I actually initially had a fourth layer going up to the top there and decided I want the top to have more space. So I actually destroyed it and started building the singular stair set to go to the top to again give the top layer more space. And as you can see, it came out really nice. There's a couple things weird about this, but you can definitely tell that there's a middle stair here. I also included a little map to show an overhead view of this tower, and it looks actually really, really cool on the map itself. And obviously a jump off point to get to the water, but you can also reach that from the top layer as well. All right, so without further ado, let's talk about the top layer. The top layer I am most proud of and I think looks the sickest. You can see why I wanted this open floor plan and it looks really, really dope. It's really just a central point. It's really supposed to be a place where we can hang out and come up here and look at our builds. And like I talked about earlier, this top balcony area is a little different because it has these points coming out at the middle of these sides. And as you can see, that doesn't really follow the theme all the way down, but I created this because they're walk-off points where you can really see your builds. So there's my house down there, smaller than ever before. We can see over the mountain and beyond, depending on your render distance, of course. But I created this really, really cool top layer balcony area, which I'm really, really proud of. Again, following the column theme, we have more columns on the inner side here, following this really cool column structure all the way around. And those columns actually bridge like a canopy over to the edge wall here, like to prevent from rain and whatever elements are coming down that lead into the walk-off point, which looks super sick. I think what I'm absolutely most proud of is the top of this structure. The top of this structure looks so sick. I want it to be pointy, such as the corners of this build, but also unique in its style. And I think I did a super good job. I wanted to keep everything cohesive as well. You can see it definitely seems to be a part of everything within this structure, but is its own style of build here. And there's just a lot of stairs and slab design going on here. And yes, all four sides are symmetrical. And I did this all by hand, made it all up completely on my own. And these windows look really, really cool. Even looking at it from down here, it just brings your eye up into the sky and also creates such a cool visual design looking straight up as well. And obviously from afar and all the way at the bottom, you can see that structure at the top as well. Following the same theme as these sides to kind of give it the less square and more round depth build, I added these columns hooking onto the windows in this really cool double H window here with this really nice lantern structure structure in the middle. Really cool slab design. And I'm really proud that I kind of just made this up and figured it out. It is my Minecraft style. I have been doing it for a very long time. But overall, this top bit is probably my most favorite part about this entire build. And it looks so sick. And there you have it, guys. Central Beacon Tower. I'm super, super proud of this build. It looks really, really sick. And I have another really cool build to show you guys in the future. Has to do with this really cool looking cave structure here. But let me know in the comments down below what your favorite part of this tower is, as well as if you enjoyed this video and want to see more builds of mine. I could even show you guys my cute little house here, which looks really, really cool. As you can see, lots of the themes of this house I have in this tower, which show you the kind of my building style. So if you guys enjoyed this build and enjoyed this tower, please leave a like. I'd really appreciate it. I have tons of Minecraft series on this channel as well as in this realm. I will be showing more of this realm in the future as I've been recording all the steps in the process of creating this realm with all my friends. So it'll be an insane video coming out soon. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video because I want to do a ton more with all these builds. It really brings me motivation to build really cool structures because I can share it with you guys. So again, leave a comment down below what you guys enjoyed and what your favorite parts were. Leave a like and of course subscribe if you haven't. It helps me out a lot. I really appreciate you guys checking this build out and watching this video. More Minecraft to come, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.